What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumbass. Like and subscribe. So apologies for the lack of videos, but I was indisposed. Actually, I did a video at an undisclosed location, but the sound was messed up, and it was basically about the Wukong stuff and the exclusivity and all that stuff, money hacking and all that stuff. Everybody's pointing it out. But anyway, that's just the gist of it. I don't need to go through it anymore. You know, Colin made a fool of himself, blah, blah, blah. Not important. Not important because, more importantly, Xbox did what they do. They come out, they say, yo, check it out, we got a showcase, and then we get all the games, right? All the games, all this good stuff. Double Fine got a banger, like, yo, it's a lighthouse with legs, let's go. I mean, I look at that and I'm like, it's like weird and stuff, that's Tim Schafer, but I'm like, okay, let's go. I think, what was it, Fratanga that said he didn't like it because it wasn't a platformer, 3D platformer, but it was, because I guess he wasn't paying attention to it. Anyway. Some people are like, oh, it was mid, it was this and that. It was the best one out of everyone this year so far, okay? Except for Xbox's own, right? You know, the last game, the one more thing was Call of Duty Black Ops 7, which I did not know that was Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Like, cause I saw the trailer, I was watching the trailer like alone, like it was an ad or something, and I was like, and I cut it off before the end, so I didn't know. And I saw the dude from Heroes, I forgot his name. And I was like, oh, that's that dude, yeah, okay. And it looked kind of cool. I was like, that doesn't look like a Call of Duty game. But of course, it's just, you know, cinematic, whatever. I was like, all right, got robots and stuff, okay. So I'm like, okay, that's all. So that's going to be interesting. For like a single player, that's what I want. I want like creativity and stuff. I just don't want war, you know, Mission Impossible type of stuff, war, you know. But this is cool. This is cool. I'm digging it. We'll see how it goes, but I'm digging it so far. But there's so many other games, like Clockwork Revolution. Okay, so when I first saw the Clockwork Revolution, what was it, 2 years ago, whatever it was, I was like, okay. I mean, I know it's early. It's not that's not the final graphics and blah blah blah, right? We had no idea about the story. They gave us a little bit of the world, but you know, not really. It was more emphasized on, I guess, time travel or alternate time paths and such. But this trailer was like, it had that one dude in it, and it focused on him, and he went to the police station with the clockwork cop, and they were joking. I was like, you know what? This is all right. I like this. It jumped up as far as like hype, like anticipation. I was like, I wasn't looking forward to it, but then I saw that and I was like, yeah, I think that I think it might be better than Outer Worlds 2. But what they did with the Outer Worlds 2 with your boy Sonic, that was funny. That's why I like Obsidian. That's why I like the Outer Worlds 2. Everything that they've done as far as ad campaign with Outer Worlds 2, perfect. Because it's hilarious, and that's what I want. I want funny. You know, video games, like you look at what Sony does, right? You look at what PlayStation does. It's all serious and grim, revenge and death. There's no happiness in there. There's no jokes. I mean, there may be moments of levity, and it's like, yeah, she said, oh, astronaut, look, they went to the museum. Oh, that's great. Oh, nah. Get out of here, man. Crack some jokes, actual jokes. They don't do that over at Sony. They don't know how to joke. They take themselves too seriously. That's the problem. Neil Druckmann takes himself too seriously. He's too busy trying to insert the world's his views and his kind of political statements about society into our entertainment. While that's not really a problem. I mean, you know, if you're an artist and you want to express yourself like that, that's fine. That's not a problem. But when that's all you have, and Astrobot, like that's the other thing that they do. Astrobot, which is just self-indulgencies. That's not, I don't know how you say it. But it's like, you know, oh, let's just celebrate PlayStation. It's like, y'all just conceited. Y'all just want to talk about yourselves. Even though Astrobot's cute, what is it really? Oh, PlayStation's the best. Yay, look at PlayStation. Yay. No original ideas. Even Astrobot isn't. I mean, besides the gameplay being Mario, right? There's no, they take, oh, let's get all our IPs. No original ideas. Just all of their IPs. I mean, their original ideas in, like, God of War was an original idea, but it's not an original idea to take an IP that's been well established for 30 years and put it in a game. I'm saying fresh, new ideas. They're not doing that. They're not doing that on PlayStation. You know, so, like that, there was maybe 1 or 2 games in there. A Planet of Lana 2. I was like, all right, I'm gonna play that because I played the first one. I was like, that's pretty cool. Was that the one with the space whales at the end? I think that was it. I can't remember. But anyway, I'm gonna play that. That's cool. It's a nice, cute little indie game. I'll play that. It's nice. Music's nice. The graphics are nice. Cool. Oh no, that was the French word. That was that one. Anyway. And then, you know, like, they had a lot of games. What was the one? There was like maybe 2 that didn't have the PlayStation badge on it. One was a Japanese game made by the dudes who make Pokemon. What are they called? I forgot what the studio's called. But they are making an Xbox game, and that Xbox game is exclusive. It's not on, I think that's the one that's not on PlayStation. Oh, it didn't have the badge, so not on PlayStation. So I was like, wait, how? I mean, it's a Nintendo thing. Game Freak does. Game Freak is making a game for Xbox. And you look at it, and Fratanga mentioned this, he said, you look at the game that Game Freak is making that's not Pokemon, that Xbox allowed them to make, or said they must have pitched it, and Xbox said, yeah, we give you the money for that. This is what fostering creativity means. That's what it looks like. You say, yo, you go to the money dude gives you the money because they like your idea, you can make your idea. Meanwhile, over at Nintendo, they're like, Pokemon, where's the next Pokemon game? It's a conveyor belt. It's a freaking autonomous factory over there with Pokemon, and they suck now because like the last one was like hot trash garbage, performance-wise anyway. So I'm like, this is what gaming needs. They need companies to invest in the studios, not try to businessize all these things, to take an IP and make it a business. I mean, yes, but you also have to keep alive the artistic spirit of these developers, because if you kill their artistic spirit, they will not make you a good game, period. That's it. That's all. Simple. Anyway, so a couple games I was like, whatever. Like there's expansion. They had Grounded 2. I was like, I'm gonna play that. They had the what was the expansion for? It was I think it was Age of Empires or Age of Mythology. One of those two had an expansion. I was like, I'm not even interested in that because I wasn't interested in the original. So that's fine. That's not for me. I'm missing games because there was so many games. But the main thing, I think the biggest thing, besides all the dope games and besides Clockwork Revolution, because I was like, that was kind of like the standout, and it came out early too. They showed it early, but Outer Worlds 2 plus 2014. Anyway, the hardware. The ROG Xbox Ally X. I'm just gonna call it the Xbox Ally, okay? Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X. One thing I don't like, but I understand the colors are distinguishing the two powers, right? So the black one, which is close to the console. So the black consoles are more powerful, or have more than the white ones for some reason. I guess that they started that in the Xbox One generation. So the black one is the 24 gig, 1 terabyte, and then the white one is the 16 gig, 512. What's the price difference? Well, the 1 terabyte versus the 512 would be like $50, right? And then the 24 gig versus the 16, would that equate to 100? Would that equate to, that might equate to $100 difference, price difference, maybe? I mean, that would be smart. So I'm thinking, hopefully, $4.99 for the white one, $5.99 for the black one. If it's cheaper than that, cool. If it's more than that, I don't know. I think it might be more because I think the regular Ally X is $7.99 or something like that. I'm like, you know, I mean, but like I said, maybe Xbox is willing to subsidize some of that cost, not raw. I mean, you know, it's a partnership, so they're subsidizing some things. Maybe it's the licensing of the UI, the OS or something. Maybe they're giving it for free and say, all right, you don't got to pay for that. So boom, and maybe like the regular ROG has to pay for like the Windows licensing and stuff. I don't know. You know, I don't know what the deal is, but I mean, we've seen the leaks before and stuff, and now they showed it, and everybody's showing it, and blah blah blah. And Cyberbond come up and like, "What's up? It's dope. Just buy it." Shouldn't say that, but you know, it's basically play anywhere, literally. And that new Xbox UI, that's what they were working on. See, I think Xbox is a little ahead. Well, they're ahead of their, I guess their game or whatever. But I think when they did that, was it the ROG Ally S or something? Whatever, I forget which. I think it was the ROG Ally S, the little baby boy. They did the Steam versus the Windows comparison, and it was like, and Steam destroyed it. Like, it had way more frames and stuff. And that's where they said, okay, we're gonna pause on the Xbox One and blah blah blah. I think they wanted to just put that aside and give the shine to the ROG Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X, because if this popped off, right, like, oh, the ROG Xbox Ally, now everybody be like, yeah, but I'm waiting for the real one. But now what they did, so that 4D, that 69D chest I keep telling y'all about, what they did, it's all psychology. What they did was they took their handheld, the Xbox native handheld, the Xbox manufactured handheld, off the table for now. They said, yeah, we're not gonna worry about that right now. And what happens is the focus goes on the ROG. Focus goes on the Xbox Ally. And right now, everybody's feeling it. We don't have a price yet, though. That's the thing. If the price comes and everybody's feeling the price, let's go. Since the Switch 2 is $450, and the Switch 2 is not as powerful as the Xbox Ally X, I would say, that's why I said the 16 gig 512, $499. Yeah, that makes more sense. And if they could get the other one to $599, that's $200 less than the other Ally X, the regular ROG Ally X. $699 sounds more. $550, $649, $649, maybe $649. $649 seems like okay, because you notice like Xbox is doing these crazy prices like $730 and stuff like that, so they're not opposed to, like, you know, I guess getting close to the margin on like how much it costs, like without losing any money. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I think that's something that I don't know if I'm gonna get one of those. I still want to see what they come up with, and if they don't do anything, I think they're still using this as a test bed to see if people are biting. And some people don't want to buy an Xbox made console, handheld, whatever, because they just hate Microsoft, you know. So this is an alternative to get an Xbox handheld without actually getting an Xbox handheld. You see how this 2969D chest works? They're pulling on your heartstrings. They're pulling on, like, everybody, like, I don't know what Alex was like, oh snap. What's his name? Fight School. He was like, Flight School. He was like, oh, welcome to PC. I was like, yeah. But it's also PC, welcome to Xbox. It's like both at the same time, because the way the UI is, I was looking at the UI, just like the quick little snippets they showed, and I'm like, shoot, that's okay. And if this is like just the first step, this first stepping stone, let's go. And they said that it's like they're basically pushing Windows back. I don't know how they're doing that. I don't know if when they did the test with the Steam Deck versus the ROG Ally with the Windows versus Steam, I think they were using just Windows, you know, the old setup. So this new improved OS that they have for the Xbox Ally will probably, I'm gonna jump to conclusions and say it'll probably be more efficient at playing stuff. If not, then that's why they said we need to chill. We need to go back and worry about the UI and the OS. So maybe that OS that they just showed us on the Xbox Ally is still basically Windows. It just looks different. So they need to do something fundamentally different to the kernel inside to, slim it down. And I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm not an expert on software engineering and stuff. So, but I like what's going on, and it's kind of cool and all that good stuff. But anyway, the Xbox showcase destroyed everything. Okay, so I did watch the Outer Worlds 2 thing, and I started watching the Grounded thing, and I stopped. I was like, there's like 5 minutes left, and I didn't finish it, but it looks cool. It's like, yo, Xbox is every game except for like 2, like I think it was 2 or 3, but I remember distinctly 2 games did not have PlayStation 5 on the badging at the end, and they were slick too, because how they did it was like Xbox PC, Steam, and then they did another line with like Switch and PlayStation. And if you're not paying, if you can, like at a quick glance you'll see the top line, but you have to scan through it to see the PlayStation 5 is at the end. So like, they know what they're doing. They're doing everything. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They're very smart. I mean, it may not seem that way sometimes, like, oh, why did they do that? That's so stupid. But what they're doing now is like they're getting with partners, hardware partners, in order to get around the red tape of what PlayStation is trying to do, which is buy exclusivity. And they can't buy exclusivity away from Steam. They can't do it. Steam ain't playing that. Steam ain't playing that at all. And if they want to make money, like that Helldivers 2 money, they got to put their games on Steam, day and date. And there was another game, Souls Aside or something. Is that the game? That was day and date on PC and PlayStation, but nobody said nothing about that. I ain't hear nobody say nothing about that. I think one or 2 Xbox, maybe Dirt and them said it. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, what y'all doing? So, I mean, what is happening now is, I mean, it's happening. So Xbox is changing the game, and so exclusivity is not the most important thing. I mean, Sony have already said that. They said, yo, it's all about MAUs. It's all about monthly active users, so we can get that money from the monthly active users, blah, blah, blah. Makes sense. You got a subscription, you want your subs to keep going up or maintain, or, I mean, likely keep going up, but there's only a plateau. You know, you get to a certain point, you be like, all right, we cool. We got 500 million, we cool. PlayStation don't have 500 million. I don't think they'll ever get 500 million, to be honest. Not the way that they're doing it. It's not gonna happen. Like, think of like, what could they buy? I mean, in a hypothetical situation, what could they buy to, we know they can't afford it, so this is just fantasy land. But if they had money, what could they buy to increase their MAUs? Roblox? Maybe? And then add those players to like, yeah, Roblox is, and somehow do it in the back end is PSN, and Roblox is the same thing, or you have to sign in to PSN to play Roblox, and then everybody quits and goes to Minecraft. It's whatever they do. They damned if they do, they damned if they don't, because they are stuck in their own ways, and they did not foresee. They are more reactive than proactive, I think, PlayStation. And they've always kind of been that way, and they're definitely opportunistic. I mean, more so than I think Microsoft is. Microsoft is like, we got a plan, we're gonna stick to the plan. This is the plan. It's the long plan. That's what Microsoft. But PlayStation's like, yo, what they do? All right, cool. We're gonna do it. This is how you share games. Thanks. That's what they do. But they can't do. They didn't do that this generation, did they? What they do? They say, we got these games. You can't. SSD. Oh man, it's the best in making games run faster. You got higher frame rates with the magical SSD. It's like, y'all don't know how computers work, do you? Because that's not how that works. But whatever, sure, okay. You want to tell your customers that, lie. Sure, tell them that. And the PlayStation 5 Pro was definitely one of the worst mistakes that they have made as far as hardware goes, because I mean, I know they didn't make a lot of them, and they're selling it at you know, not below cost. I mean, they're making a profit on each one, so in that respect, whatever, it's not that bad of a deal, but it's not worth what they're and what it did. The problem that I have with Sony is because they put out the PlayStation 5 Potato, right? The PlayStation 5 Potato, and the price is so high that it messed up the whole. You see what happened, right? Xbox was like, y'all are stupid enough to buy. Yo, come on, son. And they bumped up their prices. And they bumped it up accordingly. People keep saying, oh, the Xbox 2 terabyte is more expensive than the PlayStation 5 Pro Potato. It's like, no, it's not, because you don't have a disk drive with yours. This one has a disk drive, costs more money. You don't have a stand with yours. We don't need a stand. But still, pound for pound, if you put all the things that are required to equal this product, it's more money. And people don't say that. People don't see that because it doesn't fit their narrative and they want to win. Whatever. But anyway, I've been rambling long enough. I appreciate you hanging, like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about the Xbox Showcase, all the games that they had. Let me know what your favorite game was in the comments below. I like what Call of Duty's doing. I like the flavor, but you know, it's Call of Duty, that's fine. But my favorite, just off the jump, was Clockwork Revolution. That's gonna be a sleeper. That's gonna be well, not anymore because people look like it. And Outer Worlds 2 looks like fun. I like what they did with Sonic dude. I forget his name. Schwartzman, that guy. But anyway, I'll talk to y'all next one. Tilt the way.